What's happening? It's Shane here, and in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is basically ranking the top 100 bachelor degrees. So the bachelor degrees that have the most graduates every single year. And we're going to be going from the degree that has the most graduates per year, which is business administration, to the one that has the least, but it still has over 3,000 graduates. And that is going to be nutrition science at 3,380 graduates last year. And the reason I'm doing this is because I always get comments,
Shane, why didn't you include my degree or this degree that I'm thinking about going for?
And you know, it's really difficult to do it because there's over 900 different degrees. But with that being said, I'm gonna try to cover all of the most common ones. It's 100 of them, so I will have zero time to explain why I'm making my choices. S tier is gonna be the best, F tier is going to be the worst. I'm not gonna explain it at all. You can watch all of my other videos if you want some explanations, but let's jump right into it. Right after you gently tap that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell. I'll wait for you. All right, first one on the list is going to be actuarial mathematics. Not sure why this was on top. I think that was a mistake, but this one's going into A tier. Next is going to be business administration. I think for all different types of degrees, this one is going to go into B tier. Next one on the list is going to be nursing. So this would be a BSN, nursing at the bachelor's level. This one is going into S tier. Next one on the list is going to be psychology at the bachelor's level. I'm going to go ahead and put this one into D tier. Next one on the list is going to be biology at the bachelor's level. I'm going to go ahead at the bachelor's level. I have to put this one into C tier. Next one on the list is going to be accounting. This is a very common, really good degree. It's gonna barely make it into S tier. Next one on the list is going to be liberal arts, very general degree, especially at the bachelor's level, super hard to find a job. This one goes into F tier. Next one is humanities, very similar to liberal arts, too general, goes into F tier. Next one on the list is going to be a natural resources or natural resource management degree. This one's going into D tier. Next one on the list is finance. This one is also barely going to make it into S tier. Next is going to be marketing. This one goes in A tier. Next, we're going to talk about political science, and this one is interesting. It's actually going to make it into B tier. Next is going to be government. Kind of similar to political science. This one is going into C tier. Next on the list is going to be mechanical engineering. This one goes into S tier. It's an engineering degree, but also very flexible. Next is going to be English language. This one is going to go into F tier. Next is economics. This one is going to be A tier. Next is going to be elementary education. I'm going to go ahead and put this one into C tier. I think it is kind of high C tier status. It's borderline like B minus tier, like low B tier. Next is going to be sociology. This one is going to go into D tier. Next is kinesiology. This one is also going to go into D tier. Next is exercise science. This one is one of the worst degrees, unfortunately. I think it's really interesting, but it goes into F tier. Next is liberal arts studies or liberal studies. This one goes into F tier. Next one is going to be a history degree. Interestingly enough, it has somewhat decent statistics when you compare it to a lot of the other related ones, but I'm going to go ahead and put it into D tier. Next on the list is computer science. Of course, this goes into S tier. Next one is going to be social work at the bachelor's level. This one, I'm going to have to put it maybe C tier. Oh, I almost want to put it high D tier status. It's almost in between. I'll go ahead and be nice and put it into C tier. Next is going to be information science, a really interesting one. I'm going to go ahead and put it into A tier. Next is going to be mathematics. This one is also going into A tier. Next is going to be electrical engineering. This one goes into S tier. Electronics engineering, very similar. This one is going to go into A tier. And by the way, in making this list, something that I changed from previous years, I assume that you are capable of doing the degree, right? So I assume that it's something you're interested in and something that because of the fact that you're interested in, you are gonna be able to do it. Engineering degrees are very difficult. So I decided to take the difficulty out of the score. In previous years, I had that in there just because of the fact that there are a lot of people who, go into engineering and then end up dropping out. So I'm assuming that you are interested in it. never do something you're not interested in because it's gonna be very difficult. And if you're passionate about it, you will be able to persevere. But if you're not passionate about it, if you're just doing it for the money, you're probably gonna drop out. Just a little side note there, but I'm including that. Next one on the list is going to be criminal justice. This one is gonna go into D tier. Criminal justice administration, same sort of thing, D tier. Chemistry is gonna be next on the list. This goes into B tier. General studies is next, F tier for this. Civil engineering is gonna be next on the list. I would put it in low S tier status. Early childhood education is next. Another education degree, I'll put this one in C tier. Health administration is next on the list. This one goes into high C tier status. Next is gonna be journalism, and this one is also gonna go into C tier. Chemical engineering is next, and this one goes into S tier. Art history goes into F tier. Art goes into F tier. Communications goes into D tier. Mass communications also goes into D tier. Information technology at the bachelor's level goes into S tier. There's a little bit of controversy about that one just because of the fact that you actually don't necessarily have to get a bachelor's, but when you look at the numbers, if you do get a bachelor's, it's not gonna be like a scam. Okay, so S tier, but with an asterisk. A lot of different technology related degrees are like that, where you could potentially teach yourself, or you could go another route, get some type of certification or go to a boot camp. But if you wanna go more of a traditional educational route, that is also a good choice as well. Next is biochemistry, and this one is gonna go into B tier. I would say it's kind of high B tier though. Next is family studies, and this one goes into F tier. Drama goes into F tier. Theater arts goes into F tier. International relations, this one's pretty interesting, goes into B tier. Anthropology at the bachelor's level, this one has to go into F tier. Management information systems, great degree, it goes into S tier. Gender studies goes into F tier. Criminology goes into D tier. Music is gonna go into F. Computer engineering is S. Human services goes into F. Biomedical engineering, that one is going to make it into low S tier status. Bioengineering is gonna be high A tier. Physics, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one into low S tier. Human resource management, this one is interesting. I'm gonna put it into C tier. Same with human resources. Environmental science is gonna go into C tier, low C tier, I'd say. Public health goes into D tier. Physical education teaching, this one's gonna go into D tier. Environmental studies, this one also goes into D. Special education's going into D as well. Spanish language, this one's gonna go into D. Animal science at the bachelor's level, if you're not also planning on going to veterinary school, this one goes into F tier. Neuroscience is gonna go into B tier. International business is going into A. Philosophy goes into C tier. Geology, I would say high B tier or low A tier. Ooh, this one's kind of tough. I'll give it low A tier. Managerial economics, another one I would probably put into A tier. Industrial engineering, S tier. Interdisciplinary studies, F tier. Supply chain management, I'll go ahead and put it into A. Architecture, I'll go ahead and put this one into B tier. Graphic design, C tier. Communication sciences and disorders at the bachelor's level, not planning on going and becoming like a speech language pathologist, for instance, definitely is gonna go into F tier. Radio and television, F tier. Video production, D tier. Advertising, this one goes into A tier. Multimedia, D tier. Aerospace engineering is gonna go into S tier. Aeronautical engineering goes into A tier. Athletic training, F tier. Organizational leadership, I'd say probably D tier. Exercise physiology, again, at the bachelor's level, you're not planning on becoming, some type of physical therapist or something along those lines. I would put this one into D tier. Information systems security, I'll go ahead and put this one into A tier. Geography, I'll put it into C tier. Education, C tier. Cinema studies, F tier. Film studies, F tier. Management science, B tier. Family and consumer science, F tier. And last one on the list, nutrition science, is going to be D tier. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done it already, I tried to keep this as quick as possible. If you appreciate that, hit that like button. Check out my other videos right here. I made them just for you. And also subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you next time.